1-2 hook was nasty by IMUHBOXER, putting T2 on his butt, and there it is again. That 1-2 is money.
Oh, baby. There you go, Boxer. Get that working. What a knockdown.
Put on the pressure right now. Looking to fade now. There it is. I knew it. He's down. Oh! Big right hand.
So it's a new day in UFC 3. We just got our fifth patch 1.05. And the first thing I went to go check is the leaderboards just to see if we had a season 2 and a reset. We do not. So what you guys are going to see is my very first game in ranked championships after the new patch. And to start things off, I will let you listen to an audio rip from our ESFL event last night where Gameplay Dev joined us. Take a listen.
Gameplay Dev is in the arena or in the booth. Joining us for tonight. How you doing, Gameplay Dev?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're having a great time calling the fights. We still got 3 more fights left to go. But before we get into those, this is the big thing. What do you want to go over? You know, you've got all the tweets, you've got all of the questions.
Yeah,
what do you got for the fans?
You've probably seen a pattern on this patch. We've got a whole bunch of head movement changes and some footwork changes. So the big patch spoiler that hasn't been released yet is related to head movement. We've got a few things to talk about that are pretty important for people to understand before they play the game. Maybe tomorrow, maybe it's coming tomorrow. We'll see. So the biggest change is to head movement. There's a new input for a different style of head movement. So we've got a whole new set of head movement animations coming into the game. I'm going to call these minor sways versus major sways. So what you're used to in the game currently is what I'm going to call major sways. So guys duck down really hard, they sway to the left really hard, they pull their head back really far. And a lot of people were complaining that those animations didn't look realistic, guys were bobbing around too much. So we've added the concept of a minor sway, and a minor sway is just a slight movement of the head to the left, to the right, a slight duck down or a slight pullback of the head. And you'll input that by just flicking the left or the right stick very gently. So instead of pressing it hard for like, say, 6 frames, you'd have to just flick it once very, very lightly and you'll get a minor sway. Now, the benefits of the minor sway are considerably less stamina drain for using it, considerably less vulnerability exposure while you're using it. But the drawbacks are it's a lot harder to successfully slip using a minor sway. So I don't know if you guys saw the patch spoilers around ducking, but ducking is now very height sensitive. So if you're a short fighter versus a tall fighter, you'll be able to use the minor duck to successfully evade hooks and straights quite easily. But if you're a tall fighter against a short fighter, you're going to have to use the major duck because the minor duck isn't going to get your head down far enough to be successful. For the side sways, it's all about timing. So the minor side slip will have less forgiving timing than the major side slip. But again, it'll be less vulnerability to slip to the side with the minor sway, and you get faster counter strikes out of the minor sway. That's the other advantage that I forgot to mention. And then with the back slip, the disadvantage of the minor sway is that range still matters for hooks and uppercuts. And you'll always get caught by a straight punch if you do a minor back sway. If you do a major back sway, you will always evade a hook and an uppercut, regardless of range or whether it's forward moving. But you will still get caught by straight punches, but range will still matter. And that behavior is very similar to what's in the game right now. So some big changes around head movement, both in terms of control and the implications to the meta.
Yeah, I know a lot of the people were excited that, you know, you were updating your tweets and coming with these new gameplay spoilers and stuff like that. So for all those people watching right now, that's a big change. I mean, for a competitive player like myself, I mean, that's going to change the game significantly on the feet. So that'll probably take, you know, some time to learn for everybody, to be honest, to get back and to try it out.
It's going to take a lot of getting used to. Probably the biggest changes in the upcoming patch are one of the spoilers I released earlier, which is how combos aren't killed anymore by successfully slipping a strike if you slip a jab or a straight. So you got to be looking out for that second strike in the combo. So if you slip a jab and the guy was throwing a jab hook combo, you're going to have to slip a second time to avoid that hook. Otherwise, it's going to catch you. So that alone is a huge change to the way the game plays. And the nerf to ducking is a big one too. You won't be able to rely on ducking as reliably as you do now because of the height requirements for it to be successful. And I know everyone kind of uses duck as a bit of a security blanket. It's a catch-all against everything except for uppercuts, and that's not the case anymore. Those two changes are huge. And I know the competitive guys really hate the 50-50 in the game right now, right? I know, D-Mart, that's one of the things that you hate about the game is the 50-50.
Yeah, well, it's not the best part. And, you know, you might have seen a stream or two where I kind of freaked out, but yeah.
I remember that, yeah. So I think the combo change is a big deterrent to that 50-50 now. There's a way that you'll be able to punish people kind of fishing for that counter. But there's another big change that's coming. This one's a bit more subtle, but I think the competitive guys will really appreciate it and understand it. We've made a change to the stopping power on slip strikes if you throw a slip strike that didn't effectively evade another strike. Our QA guys are calling those empty slip strikes. So if I just slip and throw a hook, that's an empty slip strike. And so an empty slip strike will have 0 stopping power.
Incredible.
With this new patch. So what that means is if someone, say, does a duck uppercut to initiate an exchange and the duck does not evade anything, you can eat that uppercut and immediately throw, say, an overhand punch. And the overhand will get extra vulnerability and the ducking uppercut will get no vulnerability. That means someone initiating offense consistently with slip strikes, spamming that over and over again, fishing for hooks, you'll easily be able to punish that by just eating the punch and throwing a counter strike.
That's very interesting. I mean, that will change the entire meta of the game. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of people tomorrow being either really happy or really upset. But I mean, it's just something else to get used to. Robert, you got anything to add, Rob?
I'm the most excited for those empty sway strikes being nerfed because so many people, you know, utilize that pressure and they're just swaying, throwing hooks, and now it's not going to do as much devastating damage as it did before. So it's going to change the game, and I can't wait to get on after this patch.
Anything that goes more towards the realism is, I mean, I'm all for it. I'm sure 99% of the community is too. So this is a big thing. Do you have any more spoilers for tonight, Gameplay Dev? Are you going to stick around, or for the next?
I'm going to stick around. I'll answer some questions in the chat. Those are the big ones. Like I said, I've been playing this game for probably a week and a half in its roughly final state, and I'm still trying to feel out my new strategies. I'm sure you guys appreciate how big of a change this is, how big of a risk we're taking by making this drastic a change post-launch. But I think it's necessary to move the game forward, move it into a more realistic place. And I'm sure there's people who are going to hate it tomorrow, but give it a few days to get used to it, and I think everyone's going to realize the benefit that it brings to the game.
Perfect. So you heard a Gameplay Dev. We'll be here to answer some questions.
All right, so that was Gameplay Dev talking himself. And again, this is a match that I played this morning after the patch, and definitely things are different. I mean, you can tell right off the bat, you know, previous strategies, everything that you learned, you definitely won't work now. And, you know, to put things in layman's terms, the way that you defend the jab is totally different. All right. Before, whenever your opponent would throw a jab, and if they slipped it, they had 36 frames where you were vulnerable and they could return a strike. All right. Now those safety frames are gone. Just like in real life, just because somebody slips your punch, you can continue to throw a strike. So you can't really rely on slips for offense, you know, and I think that's what everybody really wanted. They also added Platinum Mike Perry in the game in welterweight division, and I played him. So this is a ranked match, and I'm going to talk about some of the things that I noticed. You can go to the UFC news and look at all of the AI updates and all the other updates, because there were more. I'll leave a link in the description. And I got hit right there. I got caught. One thing that I noticed, and Gameplay Dev talked about it, you know, on the site, the stamina is reworked. The first matches that I played in player match, and I recommend everybody play some quick matches first before you jump out there on rank just to see where it's at. the stamina, you can gas out like before the first round is over. So I'm a lot more careful now. Previous game, you know, I think it pushed towards being aggressive, but now, you know, I mean, if you fight that technical fight, for me right now, that's how I'm going. That's how I'm surviving. It's nothing, no more, you know, arcadey stuff. You know, look, I'm just 1-2ing pretty much, because you will gas out, especially with Tyron Woodley, and I've had success that way. So, and then once you get somebody hurt, then you can kind of like, you know, tee off on your combos. Right here, this is the end of the fight, so I'm being a little bit more lenient with my punches. The main thing here is I'm not worried about, you know, look at that knockout. I was not worried about throwing the jab and not being able to follow up with my strikes. You know, so if you plant and throw your combo, it's not going to get interrupted unless you see him block the first strike and then evade the second strike. You know, but that jab is safe now, and that's pretty much the main thing. So this was my first fight, you know, of the New Day patch 1.05. I want you guys to check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Do you like it? Did they put in everything that you wanted? And yeah, I just wanted to put out a quick video just to let you guys see my experience. And I'm trying to work my way right back up in that top 100. And so I'm right on the cusp. Last night in the ESFL event, I fought T2 Shifty. He ended up beating me in a great 3-round match. You guys need to find that and check that fight out. It definitely was good. Congratulations to T2 Shifty, man. You're a great fighter. And let me know if you guys like that intro I put together. My boy EK Boss Man put me up on some information about how to use Adobe After Effects, and I put together an intro, and I had to put in Bruce Lee Rob and D-Mart with some highlight commentary. Of course, Beat Champions beat in the background. So yeah, let me know if you guys like that intro and where that's going. All right, so again, if you guys ever find yourself in the top 100 on the PlayStation 4, go ahead and search up that community on the PlayStation 4, and I will accept your request if I see you in that top 100. And if you guys are really good and you're really passionate about this game, you know, look for the ESFL Discord and get in that fight league. And if you learn anything in this video, please subscribe, help your boy out, turn on the notifications. We're growing. I want to thank all of the fans and the supporters of the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Quarterfinals of the PS4 Championship 8-man tournament. There'll be 8 people, 4 will lose. Next week there'll be 4 people, 2 of them will lose, and then the week after that there will be a champion as 2 people go head to head in the finals.